Good evening, everyone. In today's video, we are looking at a huge winter storm that is going to be traveling across the central and midwestern United States, bringing over a foot of snowfall for some places, as well as severe weather for the south. Looking at the current watch, warning, and advisory display from the National Weather Service, we currently have winter storm warnings out that was issued this morning for a lot of the panhandle of Texas going into Oklahoma, and portions of northwestern Arkansas, going into southern Missouri, and even portions of southwestern Illinois, now in a winter storm warning. And this will continue throughout Wednesday and Thursday, starting tonight. And right now, we are starting to see some of that snowfall happening in New Mexico. This is going to be rapidly intensifying into a very widespread snowstorm. It's going to be traveling upwards into the northeast direction, bringing upwards of a foot of snowfall over the Texas Panhandle, going into central Oklahoma. Even Arkansas and southern Missouri could see over a foot of snowfall as we go into Wednesday. In those purple colors, we are seeing winter weather advisories. You will see some of those impacts for snowfall. They won't be major. You're going to see more of those major impacts for snowfall wise in the pinkish colors. We also have winter storm watches out in those darkish bluish colors. Those will soon to be winter storm warnings as we get closer to the event. I do expect some winter storm warnings, especially as we get a more northern track from some models. Maybe winter storm warnings could extend a lot more northward here as we get some more snowfall totals that do appear to be more widespread than expected. Looking at the latest NAM model, it's the 18Z run from this afternoon. We can move forward here, and as we head into the overnight hours, it's going to be 3 a.m. That snowfall really starts to impact portions of the panhandle of Texas, and that goes into Oklahoma as we head throughout the early morning hours of Tuesday. This is 6 a.m. of Tuesday. A lot of the panhandle there of Texas is really seeing that snowfall, and that's really starting to move into portions of central Oklahoma by the mid-morning hours around 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. of tomorrow. You are really going to see a lot of the snowfall moving into most of Oklahoma, and then northwestern Arkansas really starting to see that snowfall there around 3 p.m. of Tuesday. Tomorrow, that really starts to move into Missouri and even Kansas, Illinois, starting to really see that snowfall as we head into the evening hours. It's going to be 9 p.m. of Tuesday, and then we head into the overnight hours. This is when Illinois and Indiana is really going to see a lot of that snowfall, is in the overnight hours of Tuesday into Wednesday. And then for most of the day of Wednesday, you are going to see snowfall here for Missouri, Iowa, Indiana. You're really starting to see that snowfall move now into Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, around 9 a.m. of Wednesday. And then as we head into more of the afternoon hours of Wednesday, a lot of that western into that snowfall is becoming a lot more lighter. Still seeing quite heavy snowfall across the northeast and Michigan around 3 p.m. of Wednesday. That starts to move throughout most of New England, bringing around upwards of 6 to 8 inches of snowfall possibly for New England. And don't forget, ice is a potential with this storm as well. Big ice storm down there in the mid-Atlantic. That's going to be impacting West Virginia, southern Ohio, going into Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland. Like I said, is going to see a big ice storm, which may lead to a lot of power outages throughout Wednesday going into Thursday. Snowfall totals right now from this storm over here in the Texas Panhandle, upwards of 8 to 9 inches of snowfall in those more pinkish colors, and you are going to see locally higher amounts due to some of those stronger snow bands. Western Oklahoma over a foot of snowfall there, going to central Oklahoma upwards of a foot of snowfall, northeastern Oklahoma over a foot of snowfall, and then we get to northwestern Arkansas and even southwestern Missouri around that Joplin area. You could see over a foot of snowfall, even upwards of 16 inches of snow. That is a lot of snow there. And then as we move into more central Missouri, upwards of 8 to 10 inches as we head to central Illinois, maybe 8 to 10 inches as well. And again, a lot of these areas you will see local high, and some of these areas may see locally higher amounts. It just depends on how strong those snow bands are going to be throughout Tuesday going into Wednesday. Indiana, as you can see, around 6 to 8 inches of snowfall throughout most of the northern half of the state. North, same as Ohio, northern half of the state will see mostly 6 to 9 inches of snowfall. Northwestern Pennsylvania as well, upwards of 8 inches of snowfall. Southeastern Michigan, 6 to 8 inches of snowfall. New York, you're going to see quite widespread 4 to 6 inches of snowfall, but locally higher amounts could lead to up to a foot of snowfall. And then we get to more of these smaller New England states where you could see upwards of 6 to 8 inches of snowfall, as well as Maine, pretty much the same for New Hampshire and Massachusetts and stuff like that. So 6 to 8 inches of snowfall for Maine. Now the HRRR model is pointing towards more of a southern track, as you can see. More of central Missouri and central Oklahoma seeing less snowfall from this track, as well as northern Indiana and a lot of northern Ohio not seeing as much snowfall, and this is going to see a lot more heavier snowfall if this does actually pan out as the HRRR model. I don't expect this to be the path of the HRRR model. I expect this to be kind of in the middle of the HRRR and the NAM model. So this is going to be bringing 6 to 8 inches of snowfall and more snowfall expected for pretty much these areas. So any of these areas right here, I do expect to see, so kind of this area right here, I expect to see 6 to 8 inches of snowfall, kind of in the middle of the HRRR NAM model. It's quite hard to forecast this type of storm since it is going to be depending on that jet stream, and it really depends on where the heaviest of the snowfall is going to be. But right now I am agreeing with that NAM model instead of the HRRR model. This is the Canadian model, which does have a lot less snowfall than expected than both the HRRR and the NAM model. Again, these models tend to disagree even a day out from this event, so we're going to try to keep you updated as much as possible on any changes to these snowfall areas, especially those higher amounts where you will see some of the most impacts. I will try to keep you updated as much as possible here, and don't forget, we also have a severe thunderstorm risk tomorrow, quite a big one down there in the south. 2 areas of enhanced, a level 3 to 5 on the severe weather scale, and this is for tornadoes, a 10% hazard risk for both areas for tornadoes. Significant tornadoes possible tomorrow across those coastal areas of southeastern Texas. That includes the Houston area, so beware that you are going to see some intense severe weather tomorrow throughout the Houston area, going into New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama. Those areas will see some intense severe thunderstorms tomorrow, and one of those main risks there are wind and tornadoes. A 30% chance for 70-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow, and a significant chance for tornadoes. And look at some of these freezing rain amounts. We may see a significant amount of freezing rain here, over ½ an inch of freezing rain. That will lead to a lot of power outages in some of those mountainous areas, the Appalachian Mountains. Over here in Ohio, around the Cincinnati area, you could possibly see upwards of a ½ inch of freezing rain. That is definitely quite a bit of freezing rain, and that will lead to some harsh traveling conditions as well as more power outages. This leads all the way up here into the New England area, where you could see more of ½ inch of freezing rain, which could be devastating to those power lines, trees, and such like that, bringing a lot of weight down, which may lead to them falling down and causing damage to buildings and houses for those trees. So stay safe out there, especially throughout those freezing rain areas for Tuesday into Wednesday, mostly Wednesday. And then even going to Thursday, you will see a lot of those freezing rain amounts starting to go up in Wednesday through Thursday. And a lot of those main travel issues will be going for snowfall, will be going throughout this area right here. So if you're in that area, you will be seeing a lot of snowfall impacts throughout the next couple of days. If you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new to our post notifications. I'm going to try to keep you updated as much as possible on this storm. This might be the winter storm of the year. Totally sure yet. It's still late January. We still have February and a little bit of March to go. But this might be the winter storm of the year, especially for portions of the Midwest and central United States. So again, stay tuned for more updates. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.